Hello and welcome back to the Master League on Pro Evolution Soccer 2017. I don't have my headphones on. They're fully charged this time. I've just got to keep an eye out and a listen out for my dog because he'll probably need a walk some point while I'm recording this video, which is a little bit annoying, but things in life can't be helped. So it's been going, now I say this quite a lot in my videos, it's been going a lot better. If we go and look at the schedule, we've actually won quite a lot of games. We were last together for that win against Liverpool. After that, we had a 2-2 draw with Fulham, not too bad. A 4-4 draw with Hearts, which qualified us from the Europa League group, which is amazing. Aston Villa beat Tottenham 4-3, a really, really good result. We lost 2-1 to Man City, just getting edged out of the game. We were really, really good, really unlucky to lose that one. Then we beat Bournemouth 1-0, a really good performance. Easy win, they didn't really threaten at all. Followed that with a 2-2 draw at Watford. Again, we played well. I would say a draw was probably a fair result for this one. Then the transfer window opened. We beat Southampton 5-4. Timothy Weir scoring 4 goals, Abraham getting the 5th. Lucien Bonnett scoring a free kick, to get the 5th. Really, really good performance. Defensively, it was a bit shocking, but we played Verkutre in goal because someone was on a down arrow. We beat Huddersfield Town 4-2. Verkutre stayed in goal because Sommer's form hadn't increased, but we scored more than them, so that's all that really counts. We are flying up the table, and today we play Leicester City and Wolverhampton Wanderers in 2 sort of Midland games. Yeah, so it's very interesting to see it. If we go and look at the league table just very quickly, you'll see here we're up to 9th position, so we are doing well. We have got a 6-point gap behind West Ham in 8th, but it is going pretty damn good. We are in the transfer window though, so there has been some changes in the squad. We might as well just go through it this way. So if we sort by position, that's a lot easier to find out who has left, and a lot easier for me to tell you that in that order as well. So we're back to 2 goalkeepers, Sommer and Verkutre. We have sold the other guy whose name I've already forgotten, which is really bad, but he's gone. Retsos and Tuanzebe are the centre-backs. John Collins is still out on loan. We've sold Bisejevic, which could be an error looking back on it, but he's gone. Kieran Tierney is still here. Lucien Bonnett is still here, obviously our free kick master. Ceballos Cabezon Isobi is on his way out. He'll be moving on the 18th, which is after this game. Lulic had an offer from Leeds United, which we tried to negotiate, but our demands were too demanding, obviously. Agbonlahor, he's requesting a contract extension. We've got our salary budget down quite a lot, which is good. Saltido, we've tried to negotiate another contract. I'm trying to get them to play. I'm trying to negotiate them to pay the release fee of 14 million, which they're not going to pay. They don't want to pay that much, but he's got a contract for another 2 years, so don't necessarily need to sell him. So that's all the players that we've let go. If there's, I'm sure I'm missing some. Carrick has gone. Oh, also we had a new youth intake, is what I called it in Football Manager terms. Yeah, some very, very good youth players. So there is a potential that we could really overhaul this squad. Because if you look, Andy Carroll, Robinho, and these are the poor players. Gary Cahill, Perez, Xavi Prieto, Pepe Reina, Albiol, Nacho Monreal, Liechtensteiner, Philippe, Thompson Vermaelen, Danny, Oliana. I mean, we've got some big names in here. Carasso as well. So we could afford to sell quite a lot of people and rebuild the team. But we'll get into the game against Leicester. We've got a slight formation change. We play a lopsided 4-3-3 now. There's a lot of pressure on Ceballos to get up and down this wing and play as a central midfielder. But these two up front have been absolutely incredible together. I'm actually going to rest Weir for this game. And right on cue, here comes Rude, as I said he'd be in. So give me a sec. And here he is, making his on-screen debut. My little doggy Rude. Say hello, Rude. Hello. Hello. There he is. So we'll be back for the Leicester game, as he gives me lots of kisses. We'll be back for the Leicester game in just a second. So hello and welcome to Leicester City versus Aston Villa. We're just about to go through the team lineups for you. Leicester City, the home team, are looking like this. Jannev in goal, Vizalco, Mawson, Soyuncu and Chilwell at the back. Adrian Silva captaining the team, and Ndidi, Albrighton, Maddison, Gray and Vardy up front. Aston Villa look like they're lining up in a lopsided 4-3-3. Sommer in goal, Lucien Restos, Tuanzebe, Tierney, all one booking away from a ban. Rodri, Grealish and Wijnaldum in the middle. Vitinho, Abraham and Weghorst starting in that lopsided front three. So the game gets underway with Leicester City kicking us off, and we'll be back for any highlights. And Jamie Vardy's played a neat little 1-2 to try and spin in behind Tuanzebe. Shoots on the volley, not far over the bar. Jan Sommer looking a little bit worried about that one, and it was actually Tierney's poor pass back here. Left Tuanzebe wanting. Vardy gave a good give and go with Adrian Silva, and Vardy hits it and it goes over the bar, but a warning sign for Aston Villa. Weghorst looks to give it to Wijnaldum, who's playing in this role on the left hand side, who's got a lot of work to do. He finds Tierney though, who crosses this in, looking for Abraham at the back post. It's headed away. Rodri should get that first and does. Flicks it onto Grealish. Lovely ball round the corner to Vitinho. Vitinho lays it into Grealish's path, just couldn't get his shot off. And it falls to Lucien Bonnet, and this attack is still alive. And it's just been broken up by James Maddison. Back to the goalkeeper and cleared really well. Wijnaldum comes forward. He's got a great run from Grealish. Tries to pick him out. Does, but the pass back to Tammy Abraham is pretty poor. And that gives Leicester City a chance to counter-attack as Vardy comes forward. Tuanzebe is an absolute rock at the back and won't get beaten that easily. Albrighton in on the right-hand side. Puts a cross on. Vardy gets there first, but Retsos is just in front of him. I think that's going to be a corner. And it's not, it's a goal kick, so that's good. Jan Sommer will take this one, looking for Grealish and acres of space in the middle of the park. If he can get a first time ball out to Vitinho, he does, who wins the header. Abraham flicks it through, looking for Weghorst. He's got a man to beat, shoots from range. The keeper was just, I think, completely taken abyss by it. It was, what a finish from Weghorst. Not started for a very long time, but Grealish flicked this over to Vitinho, who won the header into Abraham, and then round the corner, Weghorst took it early and just caught the goalkeeper off guard. A wonderful finish, and 1-0 Villa. Albrighton picks up on a loose ball into Jamie Vardy. He's not going to miss that. He has missed it. Jan Sommer, what a one-handed save that was to keep us with a 1-0 lead. And yeah, again, a mix-up in midfield, and it was pounced upon here by Mark Albrighton. Great first-time ball to Vardy, and he normally tucks those away. But Jan Sommer pulling out an absolutely fantastic save to keep this at 1-0. Now Aston Villa are sending in two men to watch that short corner. One of them is the really tall Rodri, who really could do within the box as Wijnaldum wins that header. Now Vitinho has got a long ball forward towards Abraham, but that's gone wrong, and he's looking into Vardy again. It comes back to Vardy on the edge, shoots, take a deflection, and I think that is going to be another corner. But Aston Villa struggling to clear their lines as Vitinho went for the spectacular, hit Jack Grealish in the arse. Retsos then with a tame clearance, but did get his head on the shot from Jamie Vardy to give Leicester City another corner. And it's going to be interesting to see what they do with this one. No one coming short this time. In it goes. A free header for Maddison, but straight at Sommer. And let's see if we can launch a counter-attack now. He tries to go long towards Abraham, but Ndidi brings that down. Vardy turns, put under good pressure. And Lucien Bonnet will just get this one away. Abraham back to Grealish, who's got Ndidi all around him. Maddison actually gets the tackle in after Ndidi's pressure. Vardy does well to jump around the tackles, but Rodri gets back at him and manages to get a lucky deflection to keep Aston Villa in possession. Tierney has the ball into Weghorst's feet. Uses his strength well. Back to Grealish, who just dallies on the ball a little bit and takes a bit too much time. Rodri can't afford to be too far out of position as Vardy is tackled very well by Tuanzebe. Ref's given a foul. I thought that was a good tackle, to be honest, and it's a yellow card as well for Tuanzebe. I don't think that's very fair on the Aston Villa central defender. But I thought he got the way. No, nowhere near the ball. Literally took out his ankle first. Good pressure from Abraham has allowed Wijnaldum to pounce on a loose ball. But really quickly, Leicester City just closed down all the options available to Aston Villa. As that's a terrible pass from Rodri there. Retsos will recover his blushes as Jack Grealish brings it away up to Retsos. Retsos looking up the line again. It's poor. And the centre-back, well, the right-sided centre-back for Aston Villa not having the best of gains. Tuanzebe is actually defending quite well. That's going to be Tuanzebe out of the next game as well, as all four players of the back four were a yellow card away from a suspension. So that's going to be a bit of a concern, according to Aston Villa have recently sold all their centre-backs or loaned them out. So we're not too sure who's going to be playing centre-back for Aston Villa in the next game. As Wijnaldum lays it into Weghorst, goes for the 1-2. Weghorst gives it back to Kieran Tierney. Sees the run of Weghorst. Can he win this header to flick it back? No, he can't. It's cleared away, and Albrighton will surely keep that in play. Does really well. And Leicester City keep it alive. Weghorst into Abraham. Abraham got a bit of space. Grealish sees the run of Vitinho. It just hit his heels, and he couldn't get on it properly. And Red Sauce has come flying out of defence, leaving space for Jamie Vardy to get in behind. Tuanzebe tries to come over and cover, and does very, very well. Already on a booking, so had to get that tackle right. Vardy looks to flick this down the line to Chilwell, and Leicester throwing men forward in absolute numbers. Demarai Gray managed to the nutmeg Tuanzebe there. Sommer puts his foot through for a clearance, and Maddison over the bar. It's risky business at the moment for Aston Villa. Weghorst into Abraham. Abraham looks to turn, lays it off to Vitinho, but that's half time, and it's 1-0 Aston Villa away at Leicester City. A good finish from Weghorst from range sees the Villains going 1-0 up. So no changes for either team going into the second half as Aston Villa get it underway, looking to repeat that performance of the first half and hopefully get another goal to make it 2-0. But it's Leicester City who nick possession back straight away, and indeed he just plays it sensibly back. And Vitinho is caught wildly out of position, and Leicester hold on to the ball. Down the line, Vitinho in a bit of space. He's got Weghorst at the back post. Tries to pick him out, but it was an adventurous cross, and Fishalko gets it away really well with a good clearance. And it's an Aston Villa thrown in a pretty dangerous position here. Tierney will have it, put it into Grealish with a little dink looking for Abraham. Knocked down, just couldn't get it enough on it to give it to Weghorst. It's a good clearance from the defender, and actually I think that was Vitinho who got back really well, but it's just messed up that pass. And now Maddison will come forward into Jamie Vardy. Jamie Vardy, Adrian Silva, Tuanzebe should win that. Flicks it back towards Jan Sommer, who looks to just keep it alive straight away into Tuanzebe's feet. Chilwell on the left-hand side puts a cross in looking for Vardy. Grealish is there as well to manage to help the clearance away. And now Aston Villa look to spring a counter-attack. And he's got options, lots of options here for Grealish. And it's just about kept alive by Abraham, who's gone again. And the ball just wasn't right from Jack Grealish. And now Leicester looking to launch a counter-attack of their own, and Tierney's got to be wary here. Silva shoots from range. That's easy for Jan Sommer. And Aston Villa not really being threatened too much in this game. Leicester City being pretty scrappy, to be honest. And that will suit Aston Villa. As long as there's no fluidity to Leicester's game, it will really suit the Villains. As Abraham just can't bundle his way through those tackles. And Albrighton picks it up on the right-hand side. Is he fouled by Tierney? Yes, he is. Vardy puts the ball through, looking for the substitute Okazaki, who's just come on into Demarai Gray. Fires it across, Tuanzebe's there. Intercepts it well. That's a terrible pass out, though. And Rodri just gets it. Tierney will just put his foot through this one. Up towards Abraham, who misjudges his jump. But the ball falls nicely to Weghorst. In to Vitinho. Up to Abraham. Round the corner to Grealish. Grealish just holds on to it. Looks over the top towards Vitinho. Chilwell gets a good header, and it's a good throw-in position for Aston Villa. Abraham looks to flick that on but can't. Jack Grealish will pick up the headed clearance and just sensibly goes back to Rodri. Rodri into Wijnaldum. Abraham into Weghorst. Weghorst looks to turn, get a shot off early, and Danjnev makes an easy good save with that one and holds on. Fishalko up on the right hand side. He flays in Albrighton. Albrighton tries to cross it. Tierney's there, loses the ball. Tierney gives it away. Sommer makes the save. And another. Oh, Jan Sommer, you absolute hero. Bloody hell, awful defending from Villa as Albrighton was in here. Cross shot was in. Tierney, terrible decision. Rodri, terrible decision. Sommer with a great save. And then he gets up and somehow makes a second save, although that one wasn't shown. But it does give Leicester City a corner, and they've been pretty dangerous from corners in this game. Albrighton swings it in. It's a free header for Vardy. He's got to do better. Grealish into Abraham. Abraham to Weir. Weir sees the run of Wijnaldum. Wijnaldum's through on goal. He's got to finish it. What a save from the goalkeeper. Two absolutely outstanding saves in this game that we've seen, and Abraham just can't keep that in. Albrighton has spun in behind Tuanzebe, comes over to try and cover. He squares it looking for Vardy. He goes all the way through to Diabate. Vardy does get it in the end. Back to Diabate. Ball in. Okazaki with the acrobatic effort, but it's over the bar. And Leicester massively overplayed it. Didn't take a shot early enough, but Okazaki's effort in the end was not bad at all. Over the bar though. Bonnet's here again. He's just going to swing this one into the box looking for Weir. Comes out to Vitinho. Kagawa's there. Can he keep it alive? Just goes back sensibly to Wijnaldum. Wijnaldum into Lucien Bonnet. In it goes to Ceballos. Ceballos to Abraham. Abraham through to Weir. There's a shot. What a save again by the goalkeeper. And it's played against Vitinho. But that's the full-time whistle and we get another win. Wonderful stuff. And a rivalry win at that as well. That'll be a massive boost to all the players. And yeah, Leicester had a lot of shots, but not that many on target. 5 shots we had, all 5 on target. We'll be back for the game against Wolverhampton. So hello and welcome back to Aston Villa versus Wolverhampton Wanderers. The Villa lineup is going to be shown on the screen in just a second. There they are getting their team photo taken. It's a pretty, as you would expect, lineup. Jan Sommer will be in goal. The back 4. Tuanzebe, Retsos, Lucien Bonnet and Tierney. I don't know why Tuanzebe isn't banned for this game, but there he is. Rodri, Grealish, Ceballos, Sotido, Abraham and Timothy Weir all start in this game. Weghorst drops down to the bench. Rio Patricio, Almand, Cody and Dendoncker at the back. Says, Neves, Adam Traore and Diego Jota across the middle. Gio Moreno returns to Villa Park for a game. João Moutinho and Raul Jimenez start up front. Gio Moreno is actually the captain of Wolverhampton Wanderers for this game. Will the fans applaud him or boo him? I'd probably go for the secondary one of those. And the game gets underway and it's live. Bonnet up to Abraham to Grealish. There's a lot of space on the right hand side for Saltido. Puts a ball across looking for Weir and Almend can only clear behind his own goal. And yeah, it's an early corner then. Lucien Bonnet will look to take this one and swing it in towards somebody. Now Rodri is going to make a little run towards the front post. It's actually gone deep. Rodri flicks on the header. Weir's there, flicks it in. And is he onside? I think he is. And that turned out to be a wonderful little move. Timothy Weir getting on Rodri's header. And it's an early lead for Villa in the derby. Timothy Weir runs off celebrating. And there is nothing that Wolverhampton Wanderers can do that. Lucien Bonnet swing this in. Rodri just flicks it into an area. And Weir, a great little header down. Rio Patricio has no chance with that. And it is 1-0 Aston Villa. There's Rodri's header. And Weir, little turn and spin. And Patricio just had no idea where it was going. 1-0 Villa Park. And there is, what, 3 minutes gone. And Villa are starting this game absolutely on fire. They've just robbed possession straight back from Wolverhampton after they kicked off. Grealish sees the space for Lucien Bonnet, who looks to flick it in towards Abraham. Cody with a great headed clearance. And Jimenez is put under pressure by Rodri. Manages to get the ball out, but Moutinho gives that away to Grealish. Weir gets it into Abraham. Abraham looks back to Weir, but it's an interception by Cody, I think, again. And Wolverhampton are under all sorts of pressure early on in this game. And they can't just get out. They have found it up to Jimenez now. Moutinho plays a good one too, but Ceballos is there to intercept. And yeah, Villa starting this game like a freight train. Ceballos into Weir. Weir tries to flick it into Grealish first time. It's gone away and now Jimenez is a little bit isolated. Traore lays it into Ruben Neves, who we know has got a good shot and a good pass on him. So we'll have to be wary of those. And Tierney gets back onto Jimenez into João Moutinho. João Moutinho has Raul Jimenez outside him. It goes to Traore over the top, looking for Jimenez again, who flicks it up, but Tierney gets in there to read it well. Neves looks to turn. Good tackle from Rodri. Comes to Traore. Gio Moreno on the edge. His shot is blocked, and Villa will not want him to score, but there is a counter-attack on now. Abraham flicks this on. Can he to Saltido? He does. Saltido looks to cut in field, but then Donker wasn't falling for that little manoeuvre. And cuts it out well. And now Moreno's on the ball. Moutinho up to Jimenez. Back to Moreno. Moreno looks to spread it out wide. That's a terrible pass. Although Jota does keep it in play. Moreno then looks to feed it through to Jota again. He gets there. Low cross in. Jimenez! And it's gone past the post. And Raul Jimenez very unlucky with that near post run. Jota did really well to keep this in. And then a nice little give and go with Gio Moreno. And swing this in. And then Raul Jimenez couldn't get his foot round it. And it goes past the post. But it is a corner ball, so it was a block by Tuanzebe. And it's going to be Neves to swing this one in. Looking in the middle, and Rodri just about gets there. João Moutinho's tackled. And Saltido will then play this out to Weir. And again, is there going to be a bit of a counter-attack on? Weir should have the pace to get away from João Moutinho. And clearly does. Weir's still going. Feeds it into Saltido. Hits it first time. Patricio with a good diving save. Oh, and it's all Villa at the moment, and Patricio will pick that up with ease after it deflected off Abraham. Jimenez looks to turn. He's got Tuanzebe right up his arse, who tackles him very well, but gives that ball away really badly. We're just trying to lay it off to Grealish as Lucien Bonnet absolutely robs Diego Jota. And again, Aston Villa looking to launch this attack as Salcido comes forward. There is men in the middle if he just got to try and beat Dendoncker, something he hasn't really been able to do in today's game. And Lucien Bonnet swings that in far too close to Patricio though, and it's an easy catch. But he's bowled it out to Dendoncker, who's already under pressure from Abraham. Although they've worked that pretty well, Wolves there. João Moutinho out to Traore, who's got a lot of pace. And he beats Tierney, lays it into Jimenez, who's tackled very well by Rodri. Out to Grealish, Grealish up to Ceballos. And it's end-to-end, this derby game. Up it goes for Abraham into Weir. Weir just holds on. Referee, is that a foul? It's not a foul. I was hoping it was because we've got Lucien Bonnet on the pitch. But Wolverhampton get away with that one. And they hold on to the ball in the middle of the midfield with Moreno. And Grealish is fouled. It's a little bit far out. Possibly Joe Moreno picking up a yellow card on his return to Villa Park. It was a bit of a bad tackle on Jack Grealish, to be honest. As Jack Grealish here just got the ball from the back heel, held it up, and then, yeah, Moreno nowhere near the ball at all. And a deserved yellow card for the former Aston Villa man. And, yeah, Lucien Bonnet is on the pitch. Can he curl this one in past Rio Patricio? It's up over the wall, but it's easy for Patricio. Not enough pace on it. And it remains 1-0 Aston Villa. Traore looking in towards Moreno. Retsos is there. Tuanzebe can't win the knockdown, and Jimenez puts it wide. What a chance for Wolverhampton Wanderers that was, as it was a throw-in taken. Traore dinked it in towards Jimenez, who controlled it. Moreno brought it down, and then Jimenez just sort of goes across the ball far too much with his inside of his foot. And yeah, it goes wide. It looks like there could have been a slight change of formation there for Wolves. Have to keep an eye on that as Abraham will pick up this little knock ball. Weir looks to feed it through to Salcido, but couldn't get it in into the gap. And Wolverhampton come forward with it. João Moutinho on the right hand side, tackled well by Rodri, who's having a great game in that defensive midfield role. Abraham sees the run of Grealish but couldn't release the ball. And does that now give Wolves a chance? As Lucien Bonnet is going to have to just stand Jota up while Villa get men back. He does stand him up. Jota just cuts inside of him very easily. Moreno into Moreno. But again, Rodri is there. And Weir sees the run of Tammy Abraham. Has he got this in? He's got it in behind Dendoncker. Covers back really well. And again, Wolves just about holding on. So Salcido with a lot of space to run into. Jack Grealish has actually made a great run in front of him. It opens up space for Salcido. Dinks this in, looking for Abraham. And again, it was just a block on it from one of the Wolves centre-backs that took the pace off it and stopped it. Really threatening Rio Patricio as Salcido looks to play in Grealish. Couldn't quite get there. He will beat Cody to the ball. Looks to turn to get away from him. Great Cruyff turn, but Cody reads it and knocks that out for a throw. We'll stay with it while Aston Villa have a chance from this throw-in. Lucien Bonnet will just go backwards towards Rodri into Grealish. Grealish with the back heel. Salcido first time cross, looking for Abraham. Ceballos will bring this down. Hits it first time on the volley. And it was a bit audacious. Rodri look into... He was actually looking in towards Abraham, but it's now cleared and Jimenez lays it back to Traore. This will probably see us through to half-time. Throw it into Moreno. Moreno up to Jimenez. Jimenez back to Ruben Neves. Ruben Neves, lots of space for Diego Jota. Aston Villa going to hope to keep this clean sheet before half-time. And they should do with that clearance, but it's fallen to Neves, who has a go. It goes past the post. And that is half-time in the West Midlands derby. Timothy Weir's goal after 4 minutes, giving Aston Villa the lead. Wolves not really threatening too much, but Aston Villa are going to have to be careful going into the second half. And let's see how this game unfolds. Aston Villa give away an early free kick to Wolverhampton Wanderers in the game. It swings into the box. Retsos should beat Moutinho in the air and does. And again, Wolves starting to really push men forward and leaving themselves open. As Jack Grealish comes forward. Grealish, good little turn on the ball, but it was just outnumbered by the Wolves players, and Jimenez turns away from Retsos into Moreno. Moreno out to Adama Traore, who we've already known his pace can be a little bit dangerous, but so far he's not really had a chance to use it and accelerate away from any Aston Villa players. As here comes Jota into Moreno, back to Jota. Lucien Bonnet puts him under pressure, which makes him mess up the pass. Abraham into Salcido, but he's fouled, and it's a free kick to Villa deep in their own, well, not deep in their own territory, but in their own half. Tierney into Weir, back to Tierney if he can get it there, he does. Waiting for some runners, he's actually given space to run in towards the byline. Tierney fancies a shot of goal, and Patricio makes the save. And Villa have already scored from their only corner in this game. And Kieran Tierney here just given the freedom of Villa Park to run all the way to the byline. Maybe there was a more sensible option on to cut it back, but fancied a rifled effort. And Patricio gets two strong hands to it. And Let's see if this same tactic works again as Rodri runs in. Can he get a flick on this? It's gone a bit further behind him. He does. Saltino goes for the fantastic overhead, but it's cleared back to Lucien Bonnet, who's going to try and get this back onto his right foot. He waits for Tierney. Tierney is onside, flicks it up towards Abraham, who gets a header, but Patricio just keeps it off from going in the line. Well, that didn't make any sense. Keeps it from going over the line by catching it on the line. Is a combination of the two things I was trying to say. But here come Wolves now. Traore into Moutinho. There is Traore's pace, causing the 1-2. Back to Moutinho again. Tries to go back to Traore. That should be Jan Sommers, and is a very easy, simple catch for the goalkeeper. And now that is not at all where I wanted that throw to go. But Moreno went for a fancy little chip, and we're not having any of that, son. And Jan Sommer has just done a wonderful kick to Ceballos, who has got absolutely acres into the box. Ceballos with a shot. That has all come from Jan Sommer's really, really, really quick goal kick. And it was fantastic. And I hope that's included in the replay, because I stopped commentating for that bit. And that was Jan Sommer picked out Ceballos. And then he managed to get enough space to put this touch really in front of him and wind up a cracking shot. And Patricio has no chance. 2-0 in the derby. And this is incredible. And Hassabe comes on for Sayes in the middle of the park for Wolves. And their three at the back formation is being very much undone by Villa's formation at the moment. And yeah, Raul Jimenez has been isolated up front. And Moreno has been pretty terrible on his return to Villa Park. And now Abraham's got the pace on Cody. Abraham, can he get away from his man? He looks to cut back, lays it back to Ceballos, who rifles one from range, and Patricio makes the save. The cutback was actually meant for Grealish, but it went all the way back to Ceballos, who hit it. Abraham just couldn't get away from Cody enough to get his own shot off. Laid it back to Ceballos, and Patricio makes a good save. And we know what tactic is coming from this corner now, as Rodri again makes the run in. Can he beat that? Dendoncker reads it that time. Tierney keeps it alive. Lucien Bennett will swing this in first time towards Abraham. Has to be the sub, gets it away, and Neves just happy to clear his lines. So a substitution for both teams. Jack Grealish off, and Shinji Kagawa comes on for Villa. And Wolverhampton Wanderers also made a sub, but I wasn't too sure who it was, because I'm watching the game and not watching the thing in the top right that says who it was. But it comes out to Lucien Bennett, using it into Kagawa, back to Bonnet. There's a bit of space working here for Villa, but that's a really poor pass, and it gives Jimenez a chance to attack. And he is still pretty isolated in this formation for Wolves, who aren't chucking men forward that much at the moment. It goes in towards Jimenez, lofted up, gets round Restos, but not to Nzabi with a fantastic tackle. But the pass is absolutely atrocious. And can Ceballos get on that? No, he can't. It's back to Neves. Neves up to Bonatini, into Jimenez. Giota brings this down. Lucien Bennett puts him under pressure. Leo Bonatini gets in behind the defensive line. Retsos stands tall, does well. And again, it's a terrible pass out of the back. And I've really just got to put my foot through it. Adama Traore finds himself in space over to Nzabi's head. And Bonatini really messes up the overhead kick. And Jan Sommer had nothing to worry about. Ceballos up to Weir. Weir to Abraham. Abraham into Kagawa. Shinji Kagawa. Oh, he's hit the post and couldn't put the rebound in. So unlucky for the Aston Villa loanee. Oh, it was a great little move from Villa there as Tierney looks to take this throw early. Ceballos, can he flick it in? Looking for Weir. Cody's going to get that away. Kagawa won't win that header. And Tierney will keep this alive. Into Ceballos. Back to Rodri. Rodri sees the run, but Jimenez puts him under a good amount of pressure. And Nzabi's had a fantastic game, other than his passing out the back. Abraham sees Sotino with the run. Looks to cut it back to Weir, but it's blocked. Probably should have shot on his own. As João Moutinho now gives it to Neves. And Wolves are all over the place in this game. It is all Aston Villa. Lucien Bennett gets in there again. Saltido flicks it into Abraham. Abraham to Weir. Weir just holding it up, waiting for options. I mean, look at this. Wolves not even pressuring anymore. Kagawa goes out wide into Ceballos' feet. He was trying to go to Lucien Bennett, but it's just what a performance this is from Aston Villa. Jan Sommer can see Saltido in a lot of space and picks him out with an absolutely wonderful pass. Abraham looking into Kagawa, who does get there first, and gives it to Weir. Weir, though, pushed off it by Bonatini. Ref said it was fair, and it's a good clearance, actually, from Patricio into Raul Jimenez. Diego Jota dances round the tackle and then picks out João Moutinho, who goes out wide to Traore. Retsos is now just back in position. Traore not really accelerating away from anybody there. And it's an easy pass for Retsos to intercept and lays it up the line to Ceballos, who gives it back to Tierney, and that should be a foul, and it is. And Aston Villa are pretty much on easy street. Weghorst round the corner to Kagawa. Kagawa looks to Soltido, keeps it alive, but Jota intercepts that. Pretty poor pass, to be honest. Some tired legs coming into the game as Raul Jimenez knocks it back to Bonatini. That is an absolutely woeful pass as Cabezon picks it up. He's just had a heavy touch. It's a good tackle, but it will fall to Weghorst. Weghorst comes forward with it, lays it in, looking for Kagawa. That's an awful pass as well. And Weghorst doesn't have an excuse because he's only just come on the pitch. Helder Costa comes forward, tries to feed it through. Restos actually recovers it very well and lays it back to Sommer. Comfortably there, Lucien Bonnet in to Rodri. Rodri up to Cabezon, who's just going to lay this back to Tierney. Tierney holds onto the ball, and he's got Timothy Weir up in front of him. Picks him out with a good long ball along the ground. In it goes to Cabezon, out to Tierney on the left-hand side again. Now, Tierney. Look, that is a fucking awful pass. Sorry for the swear, but I'm not too sure what Tierney saw there. Putting it onto his right foot and just kicking it out of play. 2 more minutes of injury time, and it looks like it's going to be another Villa win in the West Midlands derby. I can't remember the last time Wolves, if they have beaten us actually, in this save. Tuanzebe robs that very well into Soltido. Weghorst is there. Weghorst comes forward with it. Just looks... Oh, a lovely bit of skill from Weghorst to go around the tackle. And then feeds it wide to Cabezon. Cabezon's through on goal. Looks to cut it back. Why didn't he shoot? What is wrong with me? Why did I press the wrong button there? It doesn't matter. It's a 2-0 win in the derby. Aston Villa bossing that game completely. Absolutely bossing it. And we'll go and look at the stats. Look at that. 52% possession, 10 shots, 6 on target. Passes made 202. A very, very good performance there. I mean, Tuanzebe getting a 6.0 I think is very harsh. Timothy Weir getting a 7.5. And Cabezon coming on getting a 4.5. Again, I think that's a little bit harsh. But yeah, what a win in the West Midlands derby. And we're getting there now up to 9th. We look at that. We've closed the gap to 2 points and only 5 points off 7th. Oh, it's looking good. Tuanzebe and Soltido all increase. We're still in the transfer window. When we come back, the transfer window would have finished in January 2021, I think is the year we're in. As you can see, eating into the negative salary budget that we've got. The manager missions will be happy. There we go, he's very happy. Up to 48%. And apparently, we've got to get to the semi-finals of the Europa League. One thing that could be stopping that is the team that we got in the next round, which will probably be... it won't be our next game. But, yeah, just Real Madrid. That's who we've got to deal with. We've got to win that, then win a quarter-final, and then get into the semi-final what the chairman wants. But, yeah, that's not going to happen. We'll probably be back for these 2 games here, Man United and then Arsenal. They're 2 big games and will help us close the gap. But a wonderful, wonderful double episode there, or double game episode. 2 wins. And we are really on a roll now at the moment. If we look just at these results, look, 3 wins on the bounce. Is it 4 wins on the bounce? 4 wins on the bounce, which is something that hasn't happened for a very, very long time. But thank you so much for watching, guys. It's been an absolute pleasure. I hope you've enjoyed it. I hope you like Rude as well, my new puppy. He made his first appearance on the channel. I'm sure there'll be many more. But thank you so much for watching. But for now, I'm out. Cheers.